We're here because we have been having severe erosion problem over the years, and we have finally decided that we have to do something about it to protect our investment and the Negril as a whole as a resort. Doing so, after many consultations with several different stakeholders, we have decided that what we want is a environmentally friendly approach to dealing with our product. Hence, we have started this whole conversation and want to see what we can achieve, how we can do it by having restored our beach to somewhere where it was some 30 years ago. There are certain properties here which have suffered more than others, but by and large, as an average, we have lost some 30 meters of beach since 1970. And that's really what we want to address. We want to nourish, and we also want to put proposal to prevent it from disappearing. That's all. Fun? Or at all? Over the period of time, because we've been discussing it for some time now, we have had persons from your company who has been in touch with us and been advising and helping us along. And it's for that reason why we're here, to see how we can move forward. So we'll be expecting to get some experience from what you have experienced in Cuba, because we understand that we had similar problems and we have dealt with it successfully. So we would very much like you to give us some advice and tell us how and what you have done and what the result from what you have done.
¿Entendiste?
Sí. ¿Cómo nosotros estamos enfrentando el problema y cómo lo va a hacer
Maybe may I step in before? First of all, I want to apologize for our delay. We thought it would be exactly on time, but we started the car, the battery was flat, so unfortunately has a whole group waiting for us. But we'll try to make that well enough. Getting a better impression. So yeah, I think we've been in discussion for a while about this interesting project. And Mr. Richard from Samples asked me when we were talking about proposals and nourishment, if we could put forward somebody that could help in the design. Now with Gamma, we've worked for them on a few projects in Cuba. Where they were the engineer and we were the contractors, with all of them successful projects, both I would say on the preliminary phase by searching for the sands and by doing the right designs of the beaches, and then after that the execution, it all went fluidly. I think Ernesto will be able to give you some examples of last year where we just were on the point of starting a new beach nourishment project, just besides the one we did the year before. And at that time Hurricane Irma, I think, passed by. So you could see the design was really well done, because Irma not only didn't touch the beach, well, maybe a very minor erosion, but you couldn't really see it by the eye.
Where was that?
In the north beaches of Cuba. But also it protected all of the infrastructure that was behind the beaches. While the beaches that we would be starting on were all affected, all of the buildings, all of the infrastructures were completely demolished. So that was also a bit of a challenge to start that work. It was an isolated area, so there was no area where to accommodate neither their people nor our people. That was all fortunately built back temporarily within 2 or 3 weeks. The project could go on.
And this was Hurricane Irma, you said?
It was Irma, no? Weekend del año pasado. Yeah,
What
yes,
category
Irma.
was that?
Sorry?
What category? Something
5.
category
The
5.
highest.
Oh wow, okay.
During 3 days.
3
3
days.
days, 5
Category 5.
category.
Okay.
And yeah, since then we started looking at other opportunities within the Caribbean. So we have asked Gamma to do a sand search action for us in Dominican Republic, which we just delivered a report for. So we're very confident that they can also give you the right solutions here, which might be complemented with our own engineering capacities, like what the programs we're developing. I hear you about the environment. Environment is a very important aspect of our company. You might have heard about building with nature program, which we are forming part of. So all of those things, the joining of the two forces, I would say the Caribbean knowledge and our international maritime knowledge, I'm sure should lead to a positive solution for Negril. But yeah, that leads me up to Ernesto, because I think you've already discussed with us quite a few times. So the main idea of this meeting is Ernesto. So I give you the floor.
Bueno, voy a hablar en español y para ser más rápido.
So to be faster, I'll translate what he says in Spanish if you don't mind.
El problema de la erosión de Negril no es solo de esta región.
The problem of the erosion here in Negril is not only a local problem.
También prácticamente todas nuestras islas del Caribe están sufriendo hoy el efecto de la erosión.
All of the Caribbean islands surrounding Jamaica and Cuba are suffering the same erosion problems.
Y también a nivel mundial, pero a nosotros nos interesa nuestra área, ¿no?
And at a global level as well, but they are more interested in the Caribbean part.
Porque los procesos son similares.
The processes are similar.
La arena se produce en este caso en el mar.
Sands for these beaches are produced in the sea.
Y las soluciones al problema de la erosión está justamente en compensar, restituir la arena que se pierde por el proceso de la erosión.
So the main solution is simply recovering the sands that has been lost by the erosion process.
Nuestros sistemas costeros, nuestros sistemas de playa están sufriendo hoy un déficit de los aportes de arena de manera natural.
There's always a natural apport of sand, but currently all of the shorelines are suffering a shortage of new sand apports.
Y la experiencia en Cuba, que nos ha sido muy exitosa, ha sido la aportación de nueva arena.
So the solutions that have worked efficiently in Cuba, for all of the beaches, been apport of new sand.
Así hemos estado haciendo vertimientos de arena desde el año 1987 hasta este año.
So from 1987, Cuba has done beach nourishment campaigns on a yearly basis.
¿Dónde está el problema? El problema está en identificar las zonas de aporte de arena en el mar.
So the important thing is to find out which are the apporting areas of sand, the areas in the sea that naturally bring the sand.
Y hacer una adecuada valoración de la compatibilidad con la arena nativa de la playa.
Te refieres a donde entregamos? No, sorry. It's, the crucial point is to search for the correct borrow area of the sand. If this sand matches the characteristics of what you naturally have already on the beaches.
Yo había traído un pequeño vídeo.
There's a little video with.
Se lo puedo dejar para que lo puedan ver de la experiencia cubana en el control de la erosión de la playa.
I don't know. He has a video that shows the experience in Cuba. I don't know if you want to see it now or if you want him to give it to you digitally so you can.
Nuestro equipo de trabajo incluso aborda desde la localización de la zona de extracción de arena, el estudio de la zona de arena, el estudio de la playa, el proyecto de la playa y la supervisión de toda la obra.
So what they can offer is the whole package, starting from searching for the sand wind areas, all the way up to designing the right profiles on the beach and supervising the reclamation activities.
Y nos ha sido también muy productivo y beneficioso la alianza con Van Oord, que se han ocupado de la ejecución de los proyectos que hacemos nosotros.
So yeah, you also mentioned the positive cooperation we've had so far on the Cuban beaches. We did 3 campaigns for them, and all 3 successful.
So, as far as the similar sand, we have identified and tested that it's a similar sand on outside there. What we need to do, I think, is I think they call it the biometric measurements to find out the quantity.
The survey
We know where the sand is. It's just a question that I think your people said that you wouldn't move until you can be sure that the quantity that we need is there.
Indeed.
So we have to establish the quantity that we need and the quantity that's available nearby.
Yes.
So I think that's one area where we understand the need for that to be done. Anyone want to add anything to what they've heard?
We did an analysis a couple of years ago with a coastal engineer where he sent divers beyond the reef, and they found sand that was compatible with the beach sand here on Long Bay. The quantum of which is not verified, but there is sand out there, and it's probably sand that came off this beach over the years that has moved offshore. But
No, se dice que ya han encontrado la fuente, pero nada más que está
so the
seguro
question to you is, do you have the equipment to measure the volume of sand that is there and look for new locations to see if it would be adequate to do a beach nourishment program on this Long Bay Beach?
¿Ya? Lo que habría que hacer es, ya identificada la zona donde puede haber arena.
Esto es lo que él pregunta es si tiene el equipo para hacer la batimetría y la topografía.
O sea, ya identificado el lugar, lo que hay que hacer entonces es toda la geofísica, la batimetría, la geología, perforaciones,
No, los museos ya lo tienen, solo quieren tener la batimetría y la topografía.
Estamos en condiciones.
Yeah, they have the available equipment, and yeah, they did the same in Dominican Republic recently for us, successfully, and of course in Cuba.
When you remove the sand from one location, does it create more wave action? Do you create a vacuum? You're moving tons of sand from offshore onshore. What does it do to the wave action? Does it in any way, after a period of time, does it fill back in? Cavities, you must create cavities.
El movimiento de oleaje si removemos la arena.
Yo no sé dónde está.
Yeah, first he has to know, of course, the area.
Pero en Cuba, las zonas de bajo área que hemos estado encontrando, intentamos que sea fuera, totalmente fuera del sistema dinámico del playa.
So part of their study in Cuba is to try to get the sand borrow areas as far out as possible, so that it doesn't affect the dynamics of the beach effects.
O sea, depósitos que no tengan una relación directa con la playa.
So borrow areas that don't have an effect with the beach dynamics.
Justamente para que sea un aporte de arena nueva.
So it becomes a new nourishment and not the nourishment from sands that can already have been eroded.
You can go how far out? Can you go as far as 10 miles to identify compatible sand?
¿Hasta qué distancia puede ir?
Variable, ¿no? Pero puede ser quizás entre 2, 3, 4 millas.
Pero puede ser más si
Y más, y aún más.
Generally, the Cuban experience is that it's around 2 to 3 miles to make it more economical, but you can go up to distances as 10 miles, 15 miles from the beaches.
And how long do the beaches last before you have to redo the nourishment?
¿Cuánto tiempo
De duración, ¿no?
de duración? Sí. Antes de hacer una nueva campaña.
En Varadero, nuestra principal playa turística de Cuba, el último vertimiento fue en el año 2008.
In Barrera, the last nourishment that was done was in 2008.
Y ahora en este año que viene es que vamos a hacer un nuevo vertimiento ahí.
¿De los mismos años?
De la misma sala.
So this year they're going to do again a new campaign. So it has lasted
10
10 years.
años, más o menos.
Around 10 years.
More or less 10 years.
So would you be able to give an estimation for Negril based on the fact that our beach is facing west and we're in the Caribbean and not facing the Atlantic like Barrera? Can you give an estimation as to how long our beach would last if we do the nourishment?
Contemplando que esta playa está orientada al oeste y no al norte como Barrera, si puede dar una estimación de cuánto tiempo y cómo
We
tiene
also
un
have a
recife
reef,
diferente.
Sí, eso depende de todo. Eso depende de la característica de la playa, de la zona de protección de la playa, del volumen de arena que se vierta, de la forma en que se haga el vertimiento.
That would all make part of the study they would have to do, take into consideration the type of sands, the protection, the wave climate, the local hydrographic conditions, slopes.
Did you do any physical protection? Did you put any physical barrier in front of the beach to prevent you losing the sand?
Yeah, can I respond? No, it's all a natural process because you want, while you put the sand on the beach, that it forms a natural slope. So if you would make a kind of a barrier, you would make it a theoretical slope, and that could provoke quicker erosion.
Okay. So there is no physical obstruction you put out there?
No. We can show it on that video where you can see that we put the floating pipeline and the sand is positioned. What we are doing during the process is putting the sand until the maximum line. And everything is, from the slope is natural.
So then this proposal would not include any sort of reef protection or just the nourishment, just pure nourishment.
A ver, la arena que constituye estas playas nuestras se forma en el mar.
So the sands that are coming on the Caribbean beaches have been produced at sea, contrary to other beaches where the sand is generally sedimentation process from rivers.
Si bien cualquier estructura física disminuye la energía de la ola,
So
también también impide que la arena ingrese libremente a la costa.
So if you put some structures offshore, that would indeed limit the effect of the waves on the coast, but it would also limit the natural port of sands from the sea. So that's double effect, which has to be studied.
So one of the things, so I'm familiar with the Barrera Beach. Yes, the beach seems a lot wider now, but there is a physical barrier, grass barrier that separates the hotels from the ocean. That is something that was designed with this work.
You're asking if it was designed, but dice que en Barrera él tiene experiencia con eso. Hay hierbas marítimas y preguntan si esto fue parte del diseño o si ya está natural. That was already naturally.
It was already there.
Pero que son muy estabilizadores.
They are working as stabilizing factor.
Right, but one of the big differences between what we have now and what exists in Barrera, excepting for probably the very end of Barrera, is that the hotels are far away from the beach.
In Barrera?
Yes. But what I'm saying is that how close we are, the difference is that beach, the beach goes all the way out now, and you have to go through a grassy area to go to the beach. So it's something that we have to contemplate.
One of the questions I wanted to ask is, when you're nourishing the beach, do you nourish it by the historical data that you have where the beach was before, or do you take a more scientific approach and do it according to where you feel it's necessary to grow? So is it on his, like if it was 30 feet out, do you put back 30 feet, or do you say, okay, I need 35 feet? So are you going on the historical or a more scientific approach?
Dos maneras de llegar la primera, el monitoreo. Monitoreo sistemático del perfil del mar, con topografía.
Pero en el tiempo.
Exacto, en el tiempo. Para saber cómo evoluciona la playa y cuáles son los porcentajes de peligro.
So they can do it scientifically if there has been a monitoring in the past, regular by topographic and hydrographic measurements.
De lo contrario, cuando no hay monitoreo, no hay posibilidades de monitorear, lo que se hace es que hace la topografía, las secciones, y se estima qué espacio de playa, qué potencia de arena tú necesitas en la costa, y a partir de ahí llegan a las cifras del volumen de mar.
So if the monitoring from the past does not exist, then the study is based on the direct measurements, physical measurements of the beach, and theoretical cross-sections are being made, estimating the quantity of sand that would be required to last for a certain number of years.
Coastal engineering is equilibrium profile. Equilibrium profile, o sea, cuál es el perfil de equilibrio que hay que lograr.
So it's called
para que la playa sea estable.
Same.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, makes a difference in which time of the year you do it?
Tiempo del año para hacerlo.
Preferiblemente en los meses de mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre un poquito más.
From May up till August are the best period to do this.
Es cuando menos efectos tenemos de huracanes, menos efectos de frente frío.
So you have less the minor meteorological effects from hurricanes and cold fronts from north.
Cuando la arena se vierte de manera artificial, necesita un tiempo mínimo de estabilidad.
So once the sand has been brought on the beach, it requires a certain time for settlement.
Y no conviene hacer una aportación de arena, un relleno de arena, en la época de grandes tormentas.
So doing that in an active period, meteorological active period.
Algo que me quedó pendiente y es que cuando hablábamos de las estructuras físicas de la zona costera, que cuando hablábamos de las estructuras físicas,
so when you were talking about this physical structure to close the beach,
la formación costera que mejor, más eficientemente disipa la energía de la ola es la playa.
The best structure to protect or to break the waves is the beach.
Excelente, por excelencia, o sea, es la mejor manera de disipar toda la fuerza de la ola. ¿Dónde está el problema? En que la playa tiene que tener suficiente arena para funcionar naturalmente y poder enfrentar los niveles de la turbina.
So the difficulty is that the beach has to have sufficient sand to realize the role of wave breaker.
One of the important things to consider when you're doing the study and the quotations is the maintenance. It's not just how much it's going to cost and what is going to be required to build it, but a very clear estimate as to what it's going to take to maintain it and over what period. So that's something we've never had to do before.
Entonces quieren en el estudio tener un efecto también del mantenimiento de cada cuanto.
¿Cómo mantenerla? En Cuba lo hacen igual. Igual manera.
In Cuba they're doing that as well.
So when you did one in Cuba in 2008, how long is the beach and how long that took?
La playa de Cayo Coco, bueno, los dos cuantos kilómetros.
7 kilómetros.
So around 7 kilometers.
Y casi 8 kilómetros.
Yeah, 7 or 8 kilometers each.
Yeah, claro.
We executed that in something like 4 months each, 4 months for 7 kilometers.
15 kilómetros total. Los Cayos del Norte.
You said you did some work in Puerto Rico?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, okay. Was it a government-to-government project or was it a private project?
En este caso, el caso dominicano es un proyecto del Ministerio de Turismo.
El anterior, actually, well, they've done 2 projects. So one was done 10 years ago directly for the Ministry of Tourism. And now recently this year they did the search campaign directly for us.
For you? Okay. So, and both of those projects have done very well?
Ambos proyectos eran exitosos. At least I can say so from this year, but I
Hoy
said
las
10 years
playas. El primer proyecto lo hicimos en el 2006.
The first project Dominican Republic was done in 2006.
Dominican Republic, en 2006. Todavía las playas están ahí.
And those beaches that were done at that time still are.
And were those on the Atlantic or the Caribbean side?
¿Lado Atlántico o en el Atlantic?
No, ambos. Juan Dolio y Boca Chica en el Caribe y Puerto Plata.
So yeah, there were some beaches on the north side, the Puerto Plata, and 2 beaches on the Caribbean side.
Listen, just to pick up a bit from something we said earlier with regards to maintenance. So your proposal, your terms of reference would include, probably I should ask you, you would be able to estimate how long of once the nourishment is done, how long of a period would that maintenance aspect of it, be extended for a year or 2 years after the nourishment. And I'm assuming that would be factored in the proposal.
Eso depende, o sea, depende de cuánto el tiempo, de la duración, ¿no?
La duración, sí.
Eso depende mucho de la manera en que se haga la protección de la vida. Y ahí están los audios. Que se lo contamos.
Pero sí pueden darle una indicación del tiempo, eso es lo que él busca.
Claro que sí. Es que el proyecto lo lleva, o sea, el proyecto, cuando tú terminas el proyecto, tú terminas diciendo, este es el volumen, esto es lo que hay que ejecutar, y el tiempo, la durabilidad, de ese proyecto es de tanto.
So with this design, we will give you the required quantity of sand on the beaches with the theoretical cross sections, and it will also include indeed the time frame that it will last. So you can't really talk about a yearly maintenance because that would be terribly expensive. That's why you'd rather wait. Make a prediction and whether you have to come back in 10 years or 50 years or 20 years. Because the most expensive part, or maybe not the most important part of the costs, are the mobilization costs of the equipment. So if you have to come back every year you have to put that part in. So that's where you have to find the balance in maybe bringing a bit more initially and taking it longer, or to do it at the normal theoretical cross section and say, okay, 10 years is acceptable for that.
What if you don't find sufficient sand here? What would be the alternative?
Si no hay suficiente arena, pues si tiene alternativas.
Arena de Cuba, ¿eh?
Well, you can propose sand from Cuba. But, I do believe when I look at the general nautical charts around Negril, there are sufficient areas that have the capacities to be used as coral areas.
Independientemente de la arena que ya tienen ustedes aquí ubicada, yo creo que merece la pena hacer un survey, volver a otra vez a evaluar lo que ya existe y un survey para justamente tener la capacidad, tener la potencialidad, la capacidad estratégica, digamos, del volumen de arena que pueda haber, no solamente para una regeneración, sino incluso para mantenimiento,
So within the study, he proposes to not only look at the boral area that you've now localized, but to search more around and see if there are also different areas available. And that's also to take into account not only this first campaign to bring the beach back to its levels, but also to consider future maintenance.
Gabriel, two things based on what you mentioned before. I'm looking at probably NEPA's requirement in terms of some of the, what's happening with the discussion in terms of how far out they go, the allowance. I'm wondering if there are any restrictions that you can think of that we need to prepare for in terms of getting some sort of approval and that sort of thing.
Yes, based on what you said so far, the first thing that I'm wondering is in terms of the extraction of the sand, what is the process or procedure for the extraction of the available sand and quantity that is required to identify. Secondly, in terms of depending on the distance of where you go, there may be some requirements for traditional land and maritime, depending on how far you go. In addition to that, there would have to be, you did say it's a sand borrow, but we would still require some benefit studies to support that. We didn't indicate that we were. So again, the process for extraction, the duration of the process of extraction, the sampling duration as well, and the process in terms of the quantification of the sand offshore and the basics of it, and the necessary approvals from maritime and commission.
Yeah, that all forms part of a package that they can propose.
Right. Okay.
That's a combination of their theoretical knowledge and our practical knowledge. But I can mention from the environmental part that was interesting in Cuba. I think will be here as well. Generally, with the process of beach nourishment, you send a vessel to the burrow area. The sand is suctioned just a simple way as a vacuum cleaner. A pipe goes onto the bottom. It's suctioning a mix of sand and water. The material is deposited within the hold of the vessel, and then it sails to as close as possible to the beach. Connects to a pipe, and the pipe will bring the sand up to where it needs to be in the beaches. What we did and that implies generally, because of the distance, you're often talking about 1.5 kilometers or 2 kilometers of distance of pipeline on the water, but you have to put the pipe on the bottom. Well, if you have coral reefs or if you have grass areas, putting a pipe on the bottom will affect that structure. So we did in Cuba, we worked with only floating pipelines, so that never touched the bottom. And that's those two campaigns. We didn't affect neither the grass fields nor the coral reefs. And then that's an advantage on the environmental parts. The advantage on tourism parts is that when you're working with a fixed pipeline, you're then, once the pipe is coming on the beach, you're diverting it on both sides. And you're extending a steel pipeline as far as you can go. That might be a kilometer pipeline. So during the time that you're working on that kilometer, you're blocking that part of the beach for the tourists. But with this floating pipeline is moving bit by bit. So we are just blocking a section of, depending on the conduit you have to bring, let's say maximum 100 meters width where you're working. And once that area is filled up, go to the next area, and the area behind you is already available for tourism.
So normally how long, that area that you're working, how long does it take to settle? 2, 3, 4 weeks a month?
Depending on you can use it directly. Tourists can go directly and use the beach once we went forward. De natural settlement, sedimento para que sea estable, puede ser tiempo.
Muy poco tiempo. La arena nuestra es muy fácil de drenar. Cuando sale ese vertimiento de arena,
the quality of the sands that are available in the Caribbean have a very good drainage capacity. So when you pump the material on shore, it's a mix of about 10 to 20% sand and 80 to 90% water. So to settle, the water has to go back to the sea. And then the sand is stabilizing, and that's very quickly.
Cuando la arena pierde el agua, ya automáticamente ya está en su estado de reposo.
So once all the water is out, you can consider it as being stable.
Poco tiempo. A few times.
So there's no disruption to the tourism aspect of.
No, well, there's of course the part where you're working, so 100 meters, but that's really very limited. I think the video that he has can give you a good.
Have you been able to see the beach yet?
Yes.
You've seen it? And what do you think?
¿Qué te parece?
Bonita, pero muy estrecha.
Very nice, but very narrow.
Well, that's what we're working on, extending that width.
So just to be clear, so we're talking about Long Bay and Bloody Bay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. And maybe to come back on your point of making a physical barrier, there was a project, I think 3 years ago, to build, if I'm not wrong, two offshore breakwaters. Our engineers, I was very motivated to do so, to work here, but our engineering department had a look at it, and they said if you're going to do it, it's going to be a disaster, it's going to have a contrary effect, and that's probably linked to what Ernesto said, that you're blocking also, or you're creating other type of currents, or you're blocking the natural input of sands.
That's one thing we really, the community as a whole has decided that we don't want that physical structure. That's why we're here now, to see what we can do.
In your department, have you part of, because I know Cuba's done a lot of work with the reefs and that sort of thing. Is that part of your department as well? Have you done any of that work?
Si estás trabajando con recifes.
Sí, pero en lugares donde, en sitios donde no queda otra alternativa. En sitios donde no queda otra alternativa, lo hace. Hemos tenido necesidad de usar estructuras para castigar plagas.
Sí, pero la pregunta es más si tiene experiencia en recifes.
No, eso, o sea, de construir recifes artificiales.
Yeah, no, yes, they are starting with it now on one project in on Barrera, because there are no natural reefs. They try to build natural protections by using artificial reefs.
But in other areas of Cuba, because I know you have a lot of reefs on the other side of Cuba, haven't you find anywhere?
Hay experiencia, pero no mucha, sobre la siembra de coral.
There's little experience with breeding of corals. Well, an interesting point that you mentioned is as a for corals you have two techniques that have been developed, well widely known by NGOs and biological organizations. One is removing a coral and putting it in another location, and another technique is breeding them. We dived into that and tried to make from just a small scale solution, make it a bigger scale solution. And the breeding part is shown very efficient. The last trials we've done was in the Bahamas. So we've designed a laboratory that you can displace from area to area quite easily. We build a setup of containers. So once a year the corals liberate their spawns. We pick that up, bring it into the laboratories, all of that with local inputs. We just give the engineering knowledge. We use the local divers, local biologists to recover the spawns to help with the natural conditions. Then we put them in basins, have them, recreate them, put them in basins, have them resting during 1 year or 2 years, and put them back at sea. Well, the practice has shown that the natural success rate of recreation of coral in the sea is about 10%. The success rate within our laboratory was at 90%, bringing it back into sea is another 90%. So the final result is 90% of 90% for those who are good in mathematics.
Can I ask you, if the engineer recommendation is nourishment because it's the right breakup for the sea, why is Barrera contemplating building an artificial reef?
Si lo que recomienda es poner arena, ¿por qué también estás poniendo un recife artificial?
Okay. Es en la parte oeste de Barrera.
The western part of Barrera, outmost western point.
La plataforma insular es muy estrecha.
The natural platform is very narrow.
Y la ola llega allí con mucha energía.
In that specific part of Barrera, waves are still coming in with,
a diferencia del resto de Varadero que tú conoces, que la plataforma es más ancha y la ola se disipa mucho más. Entonces aquí, en este sitio, tiene también, primero, segundo, está restringido, limitado el aporte de arena porque existe el canal de paso mal, los espigones, de entrada de la dársena.
So the other specific part of Oasis is that you have artificial breakwaters to protect the entry to the marina, and that blocks the natural port of sands.
En este sitio no llega arena de la playa natural, y el oleaje bate con mucha fuerza. ¿Cuál es el resultado?
The problems in that specific part of Barrera is that on one hand you have a very dynamic wave action because of the narrow platform in front of the beach, and you don't have the natural center ports.
¿Cuál es el resultado? Que no hay playa, mucho menos.
So it results in a very even more narrow beach than you have here.
En 1998 echamos allí, o sea, se vertió allí 80.000 metros cúbicos en este sitio.
¿Cuándo fue?
En 98.
In 1998 they pumped 80,000 cubic meters of sand on the beach.
Y al año, menos de un año,
the year after it all disappeared already.
So,
se perdió.
I was deliberate in asking that question because we do have instances where we do have those constructs in the water on that side and on that side. So I think that we have to look at this thing holistically to make sure we understand the dynamics of the area, because we're not all equal in terms of how the wave actions work. So it's important for all of us to appreciate that there is a science to wave action, right? And if those structures are not going to be removed, then we have to work and design around them. Okay? And it was important for that conversation to happen, because I would have hated for us to leave here thinking that the only thing that could work for the entire end-to-end of this beach is nourishment. Maybe it can. It'd be nice.
That's the study will have to.
The study will have to inform us.
Yes.
Sí, quizás nos estamos adelantando también un poco al estudio que se puede hacer aquí, ¿no? O alguien lo haga.
Sí.
Nosotros nos brindamos a acompañarlos, a veces lo vemos. Nos brindamos a acompañarlos a ellos, después hacer un estudio de dinámica, de Negril, integral, que nos permita justamente diferenciar eso que decía él. O sea,
entonces es parte del estudio de la dinámica.
Exacto.
So yeah, it's part of this, the study they are proposing is to analyze the dynamics of the bay.
Claro. Y en función de eso entonces determinar si hay un espión, si no va un espión, si va un rompeola, si no va un rompeola.
Based on that pre-study, they can define whether you can last with only a beach or whether you need some breakwaters or some underwater berms or other solutions.
How long will that study take?
¿Cuánto tiempo tardaría este estudio?
¿El estudio? ¿Qué longitud tiene la playa?
How long is the total?
12.
No, it's
That's it, combined?
7 miles.
7 miles.
So it's
So
5 and 2 on Bloody Bay. So it's about 14 kilometers. 12 kilometers.
Incluyendo la zona incluso de Trista Arena, en 3 meses lo hacemos todo.
So including the coral areas, it would take 3 months approximately.
Continuo.
Question: when you re-nourish the beach and you have the lake 30 feet or whatever it is, do you recommend that you plant beach grass in sections to protect the beach?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Plant grass.
Plant grass.
Seagrass.
¿Recomiendas poner?
Does that help?
La vegetación marina estabiliza la arena.
So yeah, vegetation is stabilizing the sands.
Y también produce arena.
And also produces sands.
So it's good.
Foraminífero, alga calcárea, etcétera, etcétera. Lo que hay que buscar es la justa compatibilidad entre la formación vegetal y el uso turístico.
So you have to find the right balance between the natural protection of the beaches and the touristical use of the beach.
Solo eso, nada más. Con lo cual garantizamos una y otra cosa.
Have you done much seagrass planting in Cuba and the Barrera Beach?
No.
Because the current
Sin embargo,
success rate is quite low.
Sin embargo, la que existe de manera natural la conservamos. La vegetación marina natural la conservamos.
Yeah, so the already existing vegetation is kept even after the beach nourishment campaigns.
Eso no se toca. Eso se queda.
There's no effect by turbidity.
Con la importancia que tiene para nuestras playas.
So you would need us to give you all the data, the historical data we have already on the beach. Because Nepal should have a lot of historical data. So we will need that.
So necesitan los datos históricos de la playa.
Eso mejor.
Whatever information you can give is will prove a success.
Datos incluso de climáticos, si lo hay.
climatical information,
información de viento,
wind statistics,
el efecto de los huracanes,
hurricane effects.
Toda la información siempre es útil para poder llegar a una determinación de cómo está funcionando el sistema. Eso es lo importante. Lo primero es eso. Es igual que un médico y un paciente.
He compares it to a doctor and a patient.
Y un paciente. Hay que reconocerlo, hay que mandarle a hacer análisis, hay que hacer una radiografía.
The doctor has to subscribe the exams.
Y en la misma medida que tengamos más información,
the more information the doctor has,
igual que el médico, pues la recomendación al paciente es mucho mejor. Sin duda.
Better the solution for the patient will be.
Well, just one more question. You mentioned a large part of the cost is the transportation for the equipment in the area. As far as you can see, say, when your equipment in the area for another 12 months, 18 months, have you got any rough idea?
It's difficult to look very far way ahead. We are trying to make. We have a dredger here that is very well capable of doing these type of activities. That we are trying to keep active, but the workload is about 4 to 5 months ahead of us. So we have that vessel now booked up to somewhere in February, maybe March. Even though I must say the cost of bringing a vessel is not that expensive. There's also the part of floating pipeline that has to come by bulk carrier. That's the most expensive part of it.
Right. Anyone has any more questions?
Anyway, we gladly inform you if we have something in around. We will of course inform you to make use of the opportunity. That's we're not there to. Our business is getting sent from one point to the other. It's not having the vessels sailing around. So once we have the spreads that we think we can use, for instance, we're doing another beach in Cuba, or there are opportunities also in the Dominican Republic, we will certainly contact you and see whether you're already advanced enough to make use of that opportunity. And when I say advanced enough, I trust that you can take a quick decision, but you also have the permit part of it, of course. So we'll try to inform you way ahead. So should there be a permit issue, you still have time to settle that.
As far as we're concerned, our next step will be once we have our financing basis to contact Senior for doing the
I think I already sent to Sandro, to Richard, yes, a cost proposal for the study, but then you can send that.
No, if Richard has one, that's fine.
So if we wanted to start, what would be the next step? Get a permit?
Cuban section.
Is that it?
They sent to Richard, Van Oord sent to Richard, it includes this section. The studies.
As far as
Yeah, it was included already. So we have the costing already in our.
Yeah, also talk about the financing part. The last discussion we had with Richard, I don't know if you were all there, but I wasn't. But we proposed to look at the financing facility from our side. Those things are going in a good way.
One more question from Cuba. Any subvention from Europe also?
For the beach, no ha tenido subvenciones para las playas. Como pagado por
No, por el propio gobierno
or be paid by their own funds. No.
En Cuba las playas son del Estado.
Cuba,
Son propiedad del Estado. y el Estado entonces, con el propietario al fin, tiene que pagar para mejorarla, para mantenerla.
Any other questions? Lee, Richard, sir? Any other questions you'd like to pose?
I think it's answered all my questions.
La pregunta es cuándo empezamos.
Yes. Have you got it electronic?
¿Lo tienen en USB o lo pueden hacer? You want them to deliver it on a USB stick or do you prefer to be sent by email?
By email.
Ah, email.
Give them the chamber email and then we can distribute it to everybody.
Right, we'd like to get that video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Muy ilustrativo. Presidente, esa parte usted la gente adelante. A lo que usted entienda.
Yes, sure.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were on.
That's plenty more here.
Hola, amigo.
Thank you.
But I'll email.
Okay.
Well, she'll send you an email to make sure you get the correct one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Well, we would just like to thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. We definitely been given a good explanation of how things can be done and procedure in which we have to go and what we are required to do to get the ball moving. So I'm sure we'll be in contact with you and we'll see how it goes. But we're really looking forward to having a study. So as Mr. Cummings said, we know exactly what we're doing and therefore know what the expectation over time should be. So we thank you very much. We appreciate you coming. We look forward to meeting you.
Just Chair, before you adjourn, Chair, just for clarification in terms of where do we go from here? Is it now that we are now to submit a request to them, or are we waiting on?
I think first now we will have to see from TF or wherever we're going to get the fund for the study first. And that would be our first, unless anybody has any idea, a different idea, but I think our first thing now is to secure the fund to get the study.
Nice.
What's the cost of the study?
Well, Mr. Hamilton has it on the entire thing. We just have to take it out.
So that's what I think is the next step. We should get the study done because Nepal is going to need the study as a part of the application process. So we do the study, then we apply for the permits, and then we go. Remember that Van Oord offered a financing option as well.
Yes.
So we can explore that if we don't have all the money at once.
Yes, but remember, what they offer is not completely free. It's a loan which has to be repaid. So but we have to organize the repayment. And we have work to do, put it this way. Right? And at another meeting we will have a meeting to organize the next, in the near short time, to organize the next step forward.
Okay.
Right?
Which would possibly be then a proposal that would come to us.
No, Richard, I gather, already has the proposal.
Okay.
Right? But the proposal was to do everything.
The design was already included.
Right.
Okay.
So we're going to take that part of the proposal and try to secure
That
the
was
fund.
a new proposal.
No. Secure the fund for that. And as soon as you secure the fund, then you can get in touch. Right. So we have work to do.
Because in order to get forward, When you look at the optimal period of execution, that's coming by already quite quickly. And before doing that, you had a 3 month study period. We had proposed to Richard that we as Van Oord could take charge the study costs, making a deal that those would be repaid once the finances would be available. So. Yeah, it's an open proposal, but I do believe that can help speeding things up.
Well, I'm sure we will be having a lot of time and we will make a decision pretty soon.
Okay.
Sounds good.